Hello, welcome back to Emperor's Path. Today is the December layout update. Hello, welcome back to Emperor's Path. My name is SBJ. First of all, hope you've had a wonderful Christmas because this is coming out at the end of December. And secondly, I don't know if you can tell this, I'm sat on the floor. I was trying to find a really nice place to film for this particular video, and I realised that actually probably the best place to film it is if I sit on the floor and you can see in the background the main scenic point of the layout. Hopefully it gives you something that's fun going on in the background with trains running in and out, and also that part of the loft's a bit of a mess, so we'll leave that. So since the last time that I did a layout update, there's been a few scenic bits that have gone on behind me here. The main thing is that, if you look, I have now framed the layout, the module, however you want to call it. If you don't know, and you're new here, my layout upstairs in the loft is effectively one giant fiddle yard, and eventually it's going to be two scenic modules. The idea being that I've always wanted to model Ports Creek Junction, which is this section behind me, which is the bridge that goes from the mainland onto Portsea Island. The second bit is going to be a station area or something a little bit more busy, a little bit more urban, but I don't have the space to go from this quite scenic woodland area to city, so I've instead decided to do two separate modules for my layout, and this is the first section, which is the Ports Creek Junction bit, which is the bridge. So yeah, so I've now framed the layout, which was something that I've been wanting to do for ages, whilst having the no roof on the top allowed me to get a lot of different shots and a lot of different angles. I really wanted lighting right above it, and because of how this loft has been done, I don't really want to drill lighting beams or attachments on the actual roof section, so I thought the only way I could really get some nice lighting is by building a rooftop to go over the top of this bit. The main thing you're probably thinking is, but Sam, last time you had a back scene on there as well. That's true, I did have a back scene on there as well. So the back scene that was on there was a 4-foot and a 2-foot ply board that was on the back. And what really annoyed me was the join between the two of them. I could never get it right. So what I've decided to do is take that off, and I'm going to purchase a 6-foot piece to go on the back there, so it fits better and it does exactly what it's supposed to do. And then that way there's a clean 6-foot piece that's got all of the sky and everything on it in the background. So yeah, I've taken those bits off, and it does also mean that I've been able to work on some of the scenic bits from the back side, which is something that I don't actually usually get to do because there's usually a back scene on there. So what we're going to do, we're going to go have a look at some of the more finer details that I've been working on. But one thing I have done as well is just on the inside of the lid there is some LED strips. I saw Underground Eric's video where he'd put the new lighting rig in his depot shed area that he's building for his layout, and it looks fantastic. I don't have the fancy day and night cycle that he has, but it did give me the inspiration to get some LED strips to put in there, and it is a really, really bright section that just lights up the whole box. I'm really, really proud of it. So let's go and have a look at some of the finer details. So on this particular side here, there's not really anything that's changed other than the fact I've tidied up a few bits and broken some pieces, but this has pretty much stayed as it was. I do intend to really work on this sort of motorway scene eventually, but it's just something that's not really been on my radar yet. But as it goes, that's where this end stands. I've been working definitely more on the bit that goes straight onto Portsea Island at the other end. So let's go and have a look over there. Before we do go and have a look at the other end, I thought it was worth just having a quick look and showing you the LEDs that are on the inside of the top bit. I do need to paint this, but they're effective at least for lighting up this main bit down here. But yeah, it's something that I really need to sort of fine tune what I want to do with it, but at least the LEDs light this area up, which is the main reason that they're here. So this area down here hasn't really had a lot done to it, but a little bit of tweaking and giving it a little bit of a glow up, I guess is the best way to word it. Whilst I had flocked this section here. I wasn't completely happy with it. So what I did was some of this clump foliage that I'd previously made, I put and blended up even finer than I had last time I used it. And then I mixed it in with the flock and put it on as a scatter. And I think it looks far better as a mix. It doesn't look too yellowy green or too dark green. So I've tried to mix and match it, and I think it looks much better for it. I have also finished adding in all of the sculptor mould and making all of the sections fit into that bridge now. Doesn't come out, which I might regret that later down the line, but at the moment it's in there and I think it looks really, really nice. I've done some of the soil parts on there, and I've also worked on just trying to make it look less model-like from this point of view, which is something that when this section you can see all the woodwork probably doesn't help, but I think it definitely looks neater than it did last time you saw it. And that's including working on doing all the soil and the foliage that goes up that side. And eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to be adding some trees and more bushes over that far side as well as working on that bit there. And the easiest way for me to do that is by lifting the lid off, which is something that I don't like doing, but needs must. And when I want to do scenic work, that's the thing I really need to do. I'm not rushing to put the back scene on anytime soon, simply because there's a lot of scenic work that I want to do, that I want to work on, that having that there gives me loads of really good access to do it. So I've left it for now, but we'll see. I might change my tune, and next time you'll see the back scene already glued on, and I'll be regretting that decision later down the line. So just very quickly what it looks like from up here. It needs a couple more coats of paint on the top, but it really makes this seem more like a picture frame sometimes than it does actually like a layout, which is quite nice. But yeah, definitely needs a few coats of paint. I've definitely got some plaster and sculptor mould on the top there that I need to paint back over. In terms of the stuff that's further down there, it's nothing has been worked on down there. If I just give you a quick pan across here, just so you can see the whole thing in one shot. Bridge section. The riverbed needs to tidy up as well. And this foliage section down here. Before moving across, you can see I've done this bit up here. Once again, a little bit more tidying up to do, but it definitely looks better than it did. Trees, foliage, bushes and stuff like that will definitely help tie that in as well. I do also need to put the fence back in over that far side. There we go. Slightly different layout update today. I'm trying something new. However, I just want to finally say that on Christmas Eve I did actually manage to have my first ever proper running session with multiple people. My father-in-law and my brother-in-law came up here, and we had a running session where we had one person controlling the points, one person controlling the upline, and one person controlling the downline, and that was really, really fun. There's a few little bits that I need to work on. I tried to make a cheat sheet for the person operating the points, because that's the most difficult part, and whilst it worked to a certain degree, it probably could look better, and that's something that I need to work on. And if that's something that you want to see, like how I've made cheat sheets and stuff like that on how to select a particular line, so if you want to select line 1, what do you need to do, how have I laid it out and things like that, and you might have some advice for me, then let me know and I'll do a video specifically on that as well. I do have a secondary controller for my NCE power cab, one of the Cab 06s. This was purchased from the Kiln line, so thank you, Rob. You've helped me out, because this has helped me achieve the ability to run several controllers on one layout, and it means that I have been able to do an actual running session, which has been really, really fun. Other than that, thank you very much for watching this. I do have a brand new series coming out in the new year, which is a little series on me building a 009 layout. If 009 is your thing, let me know down below, because I'd love to know whether people just watch my train videos for my train videos, or whether it's particularly the 00 and this particular layout that they watch it for. But otherwise, thank you very, very much for watching. Remember that if you do want to hear everything that goes on behind the scenes on the Model Rail Replacement podcast, you can follow myself and James from the Western Signalman, and we release our podcast every week. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. YouTube's going to suggest something that it thinks you might like. Have a wonderful day.